Have you ever paused to wonder why you keep reciting Surah Ikhlas again and again, yet nothing in your life seems to shift? You may be like countless Muslims who know this surah by heart. We whisper it in our salah, repeat it during our dhikr, recite it before we sleep, and even teach it to our children as their very first surah. But let me ask you something you may have never truly considered. What if I told you that 99% of us are unknowingly missing out on a blessing? Not just any blessing, but a billionaire-level, divinely hidden treasure buried within this short 4-verse chapter? Yes, a spiritual gem so profound that it has the power to revolutionize your risk, dissolve your stress, and magnetically pull you closer to Allah in ways you may have never imagined before. Surah Ikhlas is not just a chapter you recite to finish a prayer quickly or to earn extra reward. It's not merely a few lines you rush through out of habit. It's far more than that. This surah is a divine proclamation, a sacred secret, a heavenly code packed within 4 short verses. But here's the catch. The key isn't just in the repetition. The treasure is unlocked in the reflection. It's not about how many times your lips utter the words. It's about how deeply your heart absorbs the meaning. And today we're going to uncover the divine blessings hidden in this surah that most people overlook. We'll discover how, when recited with presence and sincerity, Surah Ikhlas can open doors of both worldly barakah and spiritual wealth beyond what you ever expected. So stay with me until the very end, because what you're about to hear could completely shift how you see this surah, your relationship with the Qur'an, and most importantly, your connection with Allah. 1. The surah everyone recites. But few reflect on Surah Ikhlas as probably the most frequently recited surah among Muslims worldwide. From our obligatory daily prayers to the small moments of dhikr in between errands, it rolls off our tongues with ease. Millions of Muslims, from the elderly to the young, from scholars to children who just learned to speak, all have memorized it. We repeat it during our Fajr, Duhur, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha prayers. We recite it in our witr. We use it as a spiritual shield before sleep. Some even recite it as part of their morning and evening adhkar. But here's the sad truth. While nearly everyone recites Surah Ikhlas, only a handful actually reflect on what it means. Many of us rush through it, seeing it as a convenient way to complete a rak'ah quickly or to tick a spiritual box. But in doing so, we miss the depth, the majesty, and the transformational message embedded in every word. This surah is not just short, it is intentionally concise, yet infinitely deep. Its brevity is not a sign of simplicity, it's a sign of divine brilliance. In just a few lines, it encapsulates the essence of pure Islamic belief. It doesn't just teach us about Allah, it proclaims His unmatched oneness, His majesty, and His independence from all creation. This is why we mustn't treat Surah Ikhlas as a mere formality. It is a surah that demands your heart, not just your voice. If you recite it while reflecting deeply, even one time, it can shift your belief, your thinking, your habits, and your entire way of seeing the world. 2. The Hadith that shocked the Sahaba, 1/3 of the Qur'an. The Prophet Muhammad once said something so profound it shocked the companions. He said, "By the one in whose hand is my soul, it, Surah Ikhlas, is equal to 1/3 of the Qur'an." Sahih al-Bukhari. Let that sink in. This isn't metaphorical. This isn't exaggerated. This is a direct and literal statement from the Messenger of Allah. 1/3 of the entire Qur'an. Reward-wise, spiritually, and theologically. How is that possible? Well, scholars explain that the Qur'an revolves around 3 central themes: Tawheed, the oneness of Allah; Ahkam, laws, rulings, and divine instructions; Qasas, stories of previous nations, prophets, and moral lessons. Surah Ikhlas completely and purely encapsulates the first, Tawheed, with unmatched clarity and beauty. When you say Qul huwa Allahu ahad, you are not just reading words. You are affirming the very core foundation of Islam. You are saying with every fiber of your being, Allah is one. Allah is unique. Allah has no partner, no child, no dependency. He is the eternal refuge, This is not about the length of recitation. It's about the depth of belief. That's why when someone recites Surah Ikhlas with sincere understanding and belief, it is as though they've affirmed a third of the Quranic message, not because of convenience, but because of conviction. Allah is offering us a shortcut, not for laziness, but for those whose hearts are deeply sincere. 3. The declaration of Tawheed that shakes the heavens. Let's dive deeper into this concept of Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. This is the foundation of our faith, the heart of Islam. Every single verse in Surah Ikhlas is a laser-focused arrow aimed directly at destroying all forms of polytheism, idolatry, false theology, and misplaced dependencies. It begins with, Kul huwa Allahu ahad. Say, He is Allah, the One. Not just one in number, but uniquely one. There is none like Him, no partner, no equivalent, no division, no comparison. Next, Allahu as-Samad, Allah, the eternal refuge. He is absolutely independent. Everything else in existence, you, me, the angels, the galaxies, the jinn, we are all in need of Him. He needs nothing. We need Him for everything. This alone, if truly understood, would remove fear, anxiety, and helplessness from our hearts. Because if the one in control of all things is your refuge, what do you have to fear? Then, Lam yalid walam yulad. He neither begets nor was he begotten. This refutes all false beliefs that attribute family, children, or parents to Allah. He is above human needs, human biology, and human limitations. Finally, walam yakun lahu kufuwan ahad, and there is none comparable to Him. No one is like Him, not in names, not in actions, not in attributes. He is beyond imagination, beyond likeness, beyond anything we can fully grasp. Together, these 4 verses form an unbreakable shield of Tawheed, a protection for the believer's heart, mind, and soul. When you internalize this, it realigns your focus. You stop depending on people for approval. You stop fearing loss. You stop chasing status. You turn completely to Allah because you recognize He is enough. 4. The divine names that can change your life. Within Surah Ikhlas, 2 of the most majestic names of Allah are mentioned, Al-Ahad and As-Samad. Let's pause and reflect on what these names really mean. Al-Ahad, the One, but not just numerically one. Allah is uniquely one in every way. There's no division in His being, no comparison in His attributes, no rival in His actions. He is one in a way that defies imagination and comparison. When you believe in Al-Ahad, your heart detaches from false gods. You stop associating power with the world. You stop idolizing wealth, people, or even your own ego. You recognize that no matter how strong someone may seem, they are nothing in comparison to the One. As-Samad, the eternal refuge. This is one of the most profound names of Allah. It means the one whom all of creation depends on, but who depends on none. When your heart truly understands this, you stop turning to people in desperation. You stop chasing the world for validation. Instead, in every moment of fear, stress, or sadness, you turn to As-Samad, the one who never sleeps, never tires, never breaks His promises. Your du'as become deeper. Your tawakkul becomes unshakable. Your heart finds peace. These names are not just theological points. They are spiritual tools, keys to calm your soul, clarify your purpose, and deepen your love for the one who never abandons you. Continued in next message. This is only 50% of the full expanded script. Here is the continuation of your fully paraphrased and expanded script, part 2 of 2. 5. The surah that brings Barakah in both worlds. Surah Ikhlas is not only a means to gain immense reward in the hereafter, it's also a gateway to Barakah, both spiritually and materially, in your worldly life. When recited with sincerity, presence, and understanding, this surah becomes a powerful channel for attracting divine ease, solutions, and sustenance. Many pious predecessors and everyday believers alike have shared stories of how regular recitation of Surah Ikhlas brought about incredible transformations in their lives. Unexpected financial relief, calmness during chaos, healing from pain, peace in the home, clarity in decision-making, and above all, a deepened connection with Allah. Why? Because the more your heart aligns with Tawheed, with the truth that Allah is one, unique, eternal, and independent, the more your life aligns with divine flow. Barakah isn't just about more. It's about having enough with peace. It's about seeing unimaginable growth in areas you never expected, even with limited resources. Allah doesn't need to give you more time. He can bless the time you already have. He doesn't need to send you more money. He can place barakah in your existing income. He doesn't need to change your entire environment. He can change your heart within that environment, and suddenly everything feels lighter, clearer, and more manageable. That's the secret of barakah. And Surah Ikhlas, when recited with sincerity, becomes a magnet for it.